watch
How?
this?
How?
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 How? Ew,
How do you watch this? Dude, I'm gonna pee my pants.
Hi, you're listening to How Do You Watch This, a movie review podcast where each week we recommend a movie in the genre we love, but they don't. My name is Demi and I love horror.
My name is Megan and I love romance.
And this week I had Megan watch the movie Edward Scissorhands.
Yes, and our theme, our thread, is horror romance. So it's
Yes.
got a little romance, got a little horror in it.
Mhm.
And I was really excited about this one because it's been something I knew I needed to watch. It's just like such a cult classic and everyone
Mhm.
talks about it and there's, you see it everywhere, whatever. I was very, very excited to watch it and have that under my belt. So the year it was produced or released, 1990, PG-13. I consider it a tragic drama, and it is directed by Tim Burton, who is officially our most watched director. This is our 5th movie of his. He spans both romance and horror for us.
Yeah.
The next closest director was Andy Tennant with 4 movies for the romances.
Yeah.
But freaking Tim Burton is, you know what? He's all
Hey.
over the place. I think it helps that he, spans genres and he's a little bit goofier, so it makes it a little easier for my delicate sensibilities.
Yeah. I mean, that's why I loved him growing up, because he was a little spooky, but
Funky.
kid-friendly more or less, PG-13. So,
Yes.
even though this movie had things that made me uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And even now.
We'll talk about it. It's got our man Johnny Depp, who I wish we had a running list of all the movies we've covered with him, because he's got to be higher than all the rest. Like, I swear, he's in everything.
At least pretty recently.
Yeah, we've been watching him a lot lately. And then we have Winona Ryder, who, if you can't immediately visualize her face, which you probably should, she's from Stranger Things. She's also from the movie we covered, Beetlejuice. And she is in Heathers, which is a movie I have to watch too.
Yeah.
That's another
That would
one
be
on my
another
list. Or romance, right?
romance, yeah.
Yeah, so maybe our next one that we do. And it also has Dianne Wiest of Practical Magic, who, she was in there. She's also from Footloose, Independence Day. I mean, all 3 of these, huge names.
It's funny because Diana was the first one to sign on. She really loved the project. And Tim Burton really credits this to her, because after she signed on, more people were like, okay, let's get on this. And Johnny Depp, this was his first movie with Tim Burton. And then Winona, of course, worked with him in Beetlejuice. So he brought her back on. But a lot of newer stars. And then, we have Diana, and then we got more people.
Yes.
Vincent Price, this was his last role before he passed away, it's not funny, but Brett was watching with me. He was like, do you think this was his last role? And I'm like, yeah, he looks pretty old. He was like, it looks like he died and brought him back for the movie. So when I read up on him, he was really dealing with some bad diseases.
Oh, that is so sad.
He was supposed to have a bigger role, and he
couldn't.
Still barking at. Yeah, he couldn't do more because he was really.
Oh, this is the Inventor, right?
The Inventor, yeah.
Oh, correct. That's really sad.
Yeah. So when I read up on that, I was
like, I'm a bad person.
This is why I don't watch my classics with Brett.
Nope.
Which has to make some comments.
These men. So the movie itself, basically, to give the briefest snapshot possible, is there's, at the very beginning, we meet an Avon lady who is, if you are not familiar with Avon, it's not as popular today, but the trope is very true still. I still vividly remember in high school friends having Mary Kay parties.
Yes.
Where you would have the representative come and they do all the makeup and whatever. And it's very much that multi-level marketing scheme sort of operation where they are trying to sell their products. So she's an Avon lady trying to sell beauty products around her street. But basically she's going up. No one wants to buy her stuff. So she finally decides she's going to go and check out the dilapidated mansion.
Haunted ass mansion down the street.
Absolutely horrific mansion. And she's just like, no one's answering the door. She's like, I'm just gonna walk in. Can't handle it. First of all, I was dying because she's walking up the steps and she's just like, don't be scared.
Just like, hi, I'm just here to talk. Like, it's okay. You don't have to run away. And she's just crawling through this mansion, which I never would have even attempted. So this movie would not have started with me.
No, I also would never be able to be an Avon lady. I just can't. Correct. And the minute someone said no, I'd be like, okay. Right. It's fine. So she goes up to this mansion and she ends up finding Edward Scissorhands. And he is this young man, very disheveled in a leather suit. And he has scissors and knives for hands. And he has like all the scars on his face. He clearly, from moments where he didn't have control of the scissors. And she's just like, you're coming home with me.
Yeah. Oh, sweet baby boy. Come on.
Yes, let's go. So she brings him home, never discussed it with her husband or the fact that she's 2 children. I was like, she has to live alone. Like, she's a lonely lady. No, she's got a husband. She's got 2 children. Like, you brought this man who doesn't have hands. Like, he has scissors, like gigantic weapons for hands. And you were like, you're in our family now.
Yeah.
And there's like all this goofy stuff. Like, he stays in the daughter's room and she's a waterbed and he like stabs it by accident. Oh,
yeah. And they had a futon the whole time. I was like, why would they put him in that room? And he's like sleeping like this, which he might not even sleep. He like, that might even not even be a thing for him.
Because he's not a human being. He was invented. So he was invented by this crazy inventor who, for whatever reason, in the process of inventing a man, decided that the early stages of this man would have scissors for hands and he would later add the hands on.
For me, it seems like, so when he puts the heart cookie in front of the chopping robot, it seemed like he used that as the base and was like, I'm just going to use this as the base. But I was like, just remove the scissor, like the danger,
Right.
It's a fairy tale,
I know.
It's more meaning. But yeah, if we're going to dig deep, it's like, why the fuck?
No,
did this man do this?
The whole thing is it really leans into the camp of it, and you just have to let it roll with it. You just can't.
Yeah.
You focus too much on why would anyone do that? That's not you can't make it through 5 minutes of this movie like that. Correct. Because it's just nothing's logical. So basically all the women in town are like, what is going on? You brought someone home. That's super weird. Okay, we're going to have a barbecue. Like, you're going to have us all over. So they end up they all meet Edward, and everyone's very charmed by him right away. Like, no one is alarmed. It's all just like, oh my God, he's so different. There's one freaking lady, and I forgot, I was going to look up who she's played by.
Joyce.
Not Joyce. Joyce is her. Yes, I do. Kathy Baker plays Joyce, and she's the devil. Yes. But I'm talking about Esmeralda. I thought yes. I thought it was, I thought she was played by I thought it was a different actress, but never mind.
She gives such Carrie mom vibes. It's literally just her.
Yeah. Yeah. So but Demi mentioned the character of Joyce. Sorry. She's a pervert. She's really,
dude, the worst
just
character.
The worst human being that's ever existed. The worst character. At one point in time, my deleted scene was anything that she was in.
Yeah. Correct.
Yeah, because she sucks. So she's hitting on the handyman, and then all of a sudden now she's hitting on this boy who isn't really a boy. There's it's just super confusing. And we have to talk about, actually, let me type this in really quick. Oh, I love when I can type. So she has big feelings for poor little Edward. And long story short, the town is getting interested in him. A lot of the kids, a lot of the teenagers are on this little trip into the woods for the weekend, and they come back. And the daughter, Kim, the oldest daughter of Peg, the Avon lady, and her husband, she comes back, and then her and Edward are not really vibing. So Edward really likes her. He's super into her. She's beautiful. He's very attracted to her. And she's just there's this weird dude in my house now.
Just fair.
Yeah. And her boyfriend, Jim, is the worst, another horrible human being who just bullies Edward and is unkind.
Did you recognize the actor?
No.
He's from Breakfast Club. He's like the little nerdy. Yeah. Can you
He's
believe
the nerd?
it? Yeah. It's so weird seeing because he's big. Like he's
He's
tall and like
big.
bulky in this movie. And I'm like, oh
He
my
is.
God, he was like the nerdy guy.
No way, dude. That's insane. I can't believe that.
Yeah. But his name is Anthony Michael Hall for anyone who's
Man,
curious. But yeah, that's him. So
that's
crazy.
insane. I saw his like face, like his name, and I was like, oh, that doesn't ring a bell. So I didn't like click
Mhm.
on him or whatever. That is so crazy. Edward starts to make a life for himself in town. He starts first trimming topiary bushes, and then he
Mhm.
becomes a hairstylist, and it's these horrifying haircuts. They're absolutely atrocious. And everyone's like, oh my God, I love it. I
Yeah.
look so fabulous.
It
So
feels very much like Who's from Whoville, like
yes,
vibe, you know, crazy hair,
100%.
crazy colors, just yeah.
Yes, absolutely. And then as he's building this life for himself, he decides he's going to open a hair salon, and this woman, Joyce, has decided that she's going to help him with it. And then she tries to seduce him. And this absolute witch of a woman, disgusting, foul beast, he runs out because poor little boy doesn't want anything to do with her.
No.
Obviously, he's
Also,
a
he
robot.
he probably doesn't have genitals. Like he doesn't
No.
know
Right. Why would
that
he?
type of world. Yeah.
No. Yeah, exactly. So he runs off, and then he ends up telling his family, which the scene was like really funny because Peg's face was like nothing else. And then the dad just keeps talking about investments and whatever, like so calm. Yeah. And so like I loved like the delivery of it. The one thing that I think falls short there is that there's no follow-up with the Peg at any point being like, well, Joyce is a bad person.
Yeah, no follow-up with that. And then Joyce goes on to pretty much tell people that he raped her or like attempted to rape her. And so she's like spreading this rumor and saying like, oh, Peg has a young girl at home. And it's like, bro, you were all over this. I hate Joyce. I
Yes.
hate a
Yes,
lot of
she's
people
the
in this
worst.
movie for what they do
Yes.
to Edward.
The amount
He's
of
just a
anger
sweet
and rage I
baby.
felt watching this, I was not
I know.
expecting. I was not expecting to feel so much anger. And I was watching this and I was like, what the hell?
I
So
know. Because he's just like the sweetest. But yeah,
he's just a little muffin.
Yeah.
So then Kim's boyfriend Jim wants
Mhm.
to buy a van, but he can't afford it, and his dad's not helping him buy it. And so he decides he's going to steal from his dad. And in order for him to steal from his dad, he needs to be able to break in, and he needs Edward. So he convinces Edward to help him because he wants to be able to basically have sex with Kim whenever he wants in a van.
Mhm.
So they break in. Immediately, Edward gets locked in the room. Everyone else bails. Kim tries to get them to go back, but they don't. Edward gets arrested. After this point, the whole town turns against Edward. They're all afraid of him.
Mhm.
Rumors are flying. It ends with him being chased off into he basically accidentally cuts Kim's hand.
Mhm.
And it ends with like Jim pummeling him into the ground. He runs away to the mansion. Jim chases him and Kim chases him, and then the whole town kind of follows. And Jim tries to basically beat up and kill Edward. Edward, protecting himself and protecting Kim, kills Jim. He gets shoved out a window. He falls. He's dead. And then Kim fakes and pretends like she kills Edward.
Yeah.
And then the whole town goes off and lives the rest of their life. And the entire story itself is framed around Kim looking back and telling the story of how snow gets made because Edward does ice sculptures. And when he does ice sculptures, little ice flakes come off and make snow.
She said
So
before Edward, it never snowed. So
Yeah.
that's how she knows he's still up there because it snows
Yeah.
every year.
Yes, and we get like an end scene of him by himself walking alone around the mansion, like trimming his topiary bushes or whatever.
Yeah.
And like this whole movie, people are like implying that there's a possibility he might be able to get real hands and he wants the real hands. So what does this movie tell you? First of all, nothing good happens in this entire movie, okay? He was alone.
It is very sad, this whole movie.
He was alone. He finally gets a family. He's gonna get hands. And then everyone lies about him. And then he lives alone for the rest of his life with scissors for hands.
Yeah. Yeah.
I am so mad that that's how it ended. I literally cannot tell you. The whole second half is my deleted scene at this point. Literally, the entire second half of the movie, the minute the rage started, there were so many good points in this movie. The thing that's sad, there was so much about this movie I enjoyed,
Yeah.
but the second half ruined it.
Yeah, it is really sad, and it's just, like, every time, because I've seen it so many times, and it's, like, every time I'm like, "God, if only this like, if only this one thing happened, and, like, why didn't Kim go back?" Like, why was he just, like, left up there, and it just, like, no one ever went to see him, and it just, like, breaks my heart. One of my favorite scenes is when Peg has him in the car when she's first driving him, and he's just smiling, like, looking around, and like, he's so
Yes.
excited. He's, like, never been out of
Yes.
the mansion, and he's just, like, so cute. And he's just, like, the sweetest little guy, and I just ugh.
He is so sweet. And like Peg never visits him again? What the hell,
Yeah.
Peg?
Well, no, because Kim
Yeah.
faked that he died, so
Yes.
not only
Oh,
that, but
that's
the
true.
cop
You're right.
too, pretended like he shot Edward just to cover
Yes.
for him. Kim is the only one who would've been able to see him.
This drives me insane. The entire time, Kim had the power to make everything right. She could have
Mhm.
told the truth at any point, and meanwhile, this is wrapped around this idea of it being a romance, and like
Mhm.
they kiss each other at one point, and I'm like,
Yeah.
girl, don't even. I hope you regretted this every day for the rest of your life.
Yeah, the guilt I would've had, like, there's no like, I would not
No,
have covered for
no, Jim.
shit bag. Yeah, I would've had
No,
him take the fall and be like, "Hey, like, I didn't know what was gonna happen," or whatever. I don't know, I would've made something
right.
up, but like, you're
The
a white
fact,
girl in suburbia, like, it's not a big
no,
deal.
there was absolutely no reason for it.
No. So
Ridiculous.
that could have been resolved. Yeah, because poor Edward, just
Yeah.
poor Edward.
I hate movies that make me want to reach inside the screen and take over. Yeah. Yeah. He had a life and she ruined it.
She said she tried to go back for him, but wasn't enough. She could have done more, like you said.
Yeah.
She could have
I
done a
mean,
lot more.
she was a stupid teenager or whatever, I guess, but like
Yeah.
couldn't have been me.
Yeah, I don't know if it's just a thing where, like, he would have never really been accepted,
Yes,
for
I think
who he
that
was,
that's
so
true. There was never a chance of him having
I
like
mean, everyone just
true
took
acceptance.
advantage of him,
Yeah.
except for Peg's family.
Yeah.
Who knows what would have happened if he,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
kept on, so
I guess.
yeah,
Well,
but
I do want to talk a little bit, first of all, about I don't know if you have any points about the artistry, but we do have to talk about the infantilization because there have been several times where I've given you a movie and you were like, they infantilize the lead. And this was definitely one where there's infantilization.
Mhm.
And I'm like, there's no sexual chemistry. You can't have sexual chemistry with a child. I don't understand anyone
Mhm.
who can be like, he's sexy or whatever, because that is a baby boy.
Yeah, it's interesting with Edward because he it's so the screenwriter based him off of her dog, who was like a border collie, very smart, very like into everything and attentive, but like didn't speak. So like that was the whole idea, and it actually helped Johnny Depp with the character
Yeah.
to really kind of have that type of mentality where he's just like a lot of expressions.
Hmm.
So I don't know if the intention was really to infantilize him, but it
Yeah.
easy like me watching now, I'm like, he's baby.
Yeah.
Me watching younger, I'm like, he's, he's
Really?
scarred and oh yeah,
Really?
hot.
Oh my
Yes. I mean, it
god.
was Johnny Depp,
I
like obviously
know.
it's not his like hottest look, but like
Yeah.
he was still cutie, just all,
Yeah.
his crazy hair and stuff. But yeah, so it's like it's hard to tell like what Edward is like kind of, I don't know. He like treads a line where he's definitely young, definitely illegal for Joyce. I
Hmm.
don't know how
Oh
anyone
yeah.
would have been like, but it does seem like he's more baby sometimes.
Yeah.
But it also could come off as like him just being more quiet and more like attentive because he knows how to speak. So well, like how much
Yeah.
did the inventor teach him? Because he's like a robot. So
Yeah. We do see the inventor teaching, like reading him poetry and etiquette and things like that. So there is some education happening, but
yeah, it's a little like tricky. I don't know. I think they could have done a little bit more with that. Um, so he didn't seem so like new because I mean, we think about Hot Frosty,
yeah, no, I know.
classic
There's
example,
yeah.
but it's kind of
Born
similar,
sexy
right?
yesterday, right? That's the trope.
Yeah, just kind of like new to the world, and it's like
Yeah.
you're, this person, their love interest is like teaching them about stuff, and it's
Yeah.
like, okay, well, how much? And I guess Kim never really was in that role, like it was
No,
like
she
Peg
wasn't
was
in
like
a
our mom.
teacher role.
Yeah.
Peg
So
was.
I guess it's a little better in that way,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Yeah. I mean, even if you're a teenager looking at another, like, in that way, you don't have the full synapses firing to understand that, first of all, this is a
Mhm.
robot man, and second of all,
Yeah.
he's
Right.
not, but those are fair
Yeah, because he
points.
is
Fair
he is
points.
learning, I guess, like, to be around people, like, he probably knows stuff, but, like, not with people,
Yeah.
he doesn't know how to talk to people, he doesn't know about alcohol and, like, all this stuff, like, that's all new to him, so.
Yeah. I will say another point about Kim, though, is
Mhm.
that it also annoys me that the only reason she ends up really liking him or having a crush on him or whatever is because
Mhm.
he was willing to continually take the fall for her. So he's literally
Yeah.
willing to fall on this sword for her over and over again. She's like, actually, I kind of dig you now.
Yeah, it was never, like, I kinda wish it was more of her
Uh-huh.
loving him for, like, as a
Yes.
person, and, like, maybe it is like that, but it does have romantic tendencies, but I would have liked it more if it was, like, she cared for him, and, like, he could have loved her because he doesn't really know, like, but also maybe not, he's, like, he just finds her beautiful and has this, like, love for her that
Uh-huh.
isn't romantic technically, but at the end, they kiss and she's like, "I love you," and it's like, "Okay, well, I wish it wasn't like that."
Yeah,
I think it would have been more impactful if it was, like, less romantic in that
I agree.
sense, because you
Yeah,
can
yeah,
have a
I agree.
strong bond with someone
I
without it
don't think
being.
it's I don't think it was needed. I don't think it was
Yeah,
needed.
yeah. Um,
Do you have anything about, like, why everything was set in almost this fairy tale snow globe sort of world and the colors are all cohesive throughout and stuff?
yeah, so the suburban location is real, but they did paint the houses to be more bright.
Okay.
But it was a real location in Florida, and the way it looked is supposedly through Edward's eyes. So that's why everything is a little,
Oh,
like, strange, a little, like, off-putting, but, like, different, because it was supposed to be, like, Edward seeing this for the first time, so everything's gonna be, like, extra for him.
okay.
But yeah, so this idea stemmed from Tim Burton, like, a drawing he did of kind of himself, this, like, skinny, sunken-eyed guy with these long fingers. He just lived in suburbia, very similar, always felt outcasted.
Yeah.
So he had his character for a while, and then he went through with it. So that's, like, where it came from, and a lot of people who had similar upbringings or disabilities and stuff felt really connected to Edward in
Oh,
a way
okay.
because it is, you could see it then that way, just
Yeah.
someone that's just different showing up in this suburban location and just not being accepted and unfortunately and sad. That's
Yeah.
not good. But sometimes it's just how it is. Like some people just will never accept different people. So you just have to find your own
The
place
real
and
bummer.
people that will accept
And
you,
that's why I like romance movies, so I can escape the sadness of this tragic life. But here we are today watching a
Yeah.
sad romance.
Well,
Romance.
maybe Edward was happy at the end, he got to
I don't think
experience.
so. I don't think so, dude. I don't think so. I'm sorry. I want to believe that he was, but he wasn't happy before. I don't know why he would be happy after that tragedy. So Roger Ebert actually reviewed this as well. And so I
Amazing.
had to include a quote from him. I feel like it's like something that always has to get done. So he said,
Yeah.
"This conclusion is so lame, it's disheartening. Surely anyone clever enough to dream up Edward Scissorhands should be swift enough to think of a payoff that involves our imagination." 2 stars.
Wow, 2 stars.
I mean, obviously they're always out of 4, so he does do out of 4, so it's
It's
not
half.
as
Yeah, yeah.
bad.
Okay,
Not
okay,
as
okay.
bad, but
Not as bad. That's funny. Yeah, it feels very Tim Burton-esque,
yeah.
honestly. Like, it is sad, but, like, I don't know. It's like I love and hate the ending.
Yeah.
I hate that it ended that
I just
way,
hate it.
but I also it is like a fairy tale, but also, who knows how much of this is, like, true? Because
Mhm.
Kim, the grandmother, is
Is the one telling
relaying the
it.
story on, like, why snow exists, why it's
Right.
snowing. So it's
Could you
like,
imagine a grandmother making that story up for Snow? What a psychotic grandmother. Imagine you're just like, because
Crazy
literally the
creativity.
movie starts and she's like, that's a long story. I was like, how is it a long story about how snow is made? And then I was like, okay, that's a long story.
It's a long story.
It's a long
Um,
story.
but yeah, it's just like it's crazy that it's just like, yeah, snow. This is why it snows because some fucking dude is up there just chopping up ice with scissor hands, you know?
Insane.
So
Insane.
pretty
Yeah.
crazy.
All right, rate it for me so I can rate it.
I love this movie. I do,
Yeah.
but like it's not a 5 for me. I'll give it like a
Okay.
4.2. You know,
Okay.
I think it's a very creative movie and I think it's a classic and I really love the fairy tale-esque aspect of it. It does
It
kind of
does.
like drag a little bit.
It's a little slow sometimes. It could be probably an
Yeah.
hour 20 and it would be fine.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, it doesn't really pick up and then when it picks up really crazily. Things are
Yeah.
happening all at once. And then it ends sad. So it's just like, well, that was a bummer. So
Yeah. Yeah.
but I think it's a good movie from Tim Burton and I really like Johnny Depp's performance in it.
Yeah. I had a hard time with like rating it because it's like even doing genre and like enjoyment because I don't really feel like it
Right.
fits into either genre well. I don't think it's a good romance. I
Yeah.
don't think it's a good horror. I didn't feel
Yeah.
scared watching it. It feels more like folksy. Like if it was for a folk film, I would rate it like a lot
Mm.
higher.
Yeah.
So like genre rating, I kind of like went 3-ish because I don't know, but
Yeah.
I can't even like say like enjoyment wise, I didn't
Mhm.
enjoy myself. The thing is, if the whole movie
Mhm.
had been like the first half, I probably would have rated it 5 because it was
Yeah.
like even with the goofiness or whatever, that's great. But with this
Mhm.
whole turn and then
Mhm.
there's no justice in the end, I just like feel so much rage in my heart about it. I'm just like, I can't handle that that's how it ended. So
Yeah.
for me, it's more of a 2.5, which
Wow,
sucks
okay.
because it
My
is
god, to go
good.
from 5 to
No,
2.5, girl?
I
No,
know.
redo that. That's too low.
That's how bad it hurt my feelings at the end. But that's like enjoyment. That's enjoyment.
Okay.
But like, so then where's the real rating? I don't know.
Yeah.
I do think it
I think you
deserves,
said 3-ish is
yeah, I would
makes
say
sense.
probably like genuinely, if I take away like my devastation, probably 3.75-ish.
Yeah, I think that's a fair
Yeah.
rating. I think a lot of like it does have good ratings online. And like I said, I think it's a good movie. Like it's not it's you know, Beetlejuice is obviously his best and it's really, really good. But I still think this was a good creative film and I think it really like shows the type of person Tim Burton is. And his, like, weirdness, but yeah, you know, it's there are things you're gonna like about it and things you're not gonna like about it. There is a, wasn't there a
Sequel?
commercial with, Timothée Chalamet? He plays, like, the son of Edward.
Really?
Yeah.
No, I
So,
didn't see it.
maybe there's a
Okay.
parallel universe where
Maybe he gets
Tim did find him again.
somehow and he apparently has the inventor did that. That would be the most chaotic choice of all time.
But it is insinuated that his leather and this was a leather suit, like, Johnny was dying in this fucking
God,
outfit.
I can't imagine.
It seemed like it's part of his body. Like,
Okay.
it didn't see like, if you look underneath, it's probably, like, I don't know what's little wires and
Metal?
organs? I
Yeah.
don't know, a mix of weird stuff.
Okay.
But it seems it to it's insinuated that his suit is, like
His body. Okay. That
yeah.
makes sense because he puts clothes on top of it, but he never takes those
Yeah.
clothes off.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I love the suit. I mean, I love his
Oh
whole
my God.
aesthetic. Like, it's
Yes.
such a cool
Yeah.
design. I think he looks great. It's
They
such a
did a good
cool
job with it. It was cool. The whole movie was like fun and funky and very Burton-esque.
yeah,
Just wish that
very
there was a little bit more of a happy ending, but
yeah.
whatever.
I just make it up my head. Fan fiction.
I know. That's why it was invented.
Where is Edward Scissorhand to?
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
ready for that. And speaking of sequels,
Yeah. Our next thread.
yep,
So we're doing sequels and
we're
not
doing
part 2?
sequels. We're not going to do part 2 because I just can't handle doing a part 2 of some of the movies we watched.
I went through and looked at all the movies Megan reviewed and put a list of all sequels, and she got to choose one. So
I picked
she
one
chose
that's going to be bad.
she chose Beetlejuice, so more Tim Burton and not good Tim Burton. I got maybe like halfway through this movie and stopped it because I was like,
Cool.
bad
Watch, I
movie.
love it. Watch, I'm like 5 stars.
I mean, it might be okay to you. It's just
Maybe.
like for me, I don't know. It just
It
like
beat up more of
really
your
changed.
nostalgia.
And it's
We'll
weird because
we'll
Tim
tear it
Burton did
apart.
it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah. I'll tear it apart.
I mean, if I love it, I'm not gonna tear it apart. I'll fight about it, but I hope I like it, but I also wanna have taste. Like, I wanna have good taste.
I mean, so we once again meet Lydia. She's an adult now. She has a daughter, which wouldn't have happened in my eyes, but she does. And Beetlejuice comes back.
Of course he does.
He comes back, and that's
Yeah.
the gist of it.
Goodbye.
You can find us on Instagram and YouTube and Letterboxd at How Do You Watch This and TikTok at How Do You Watch. You can email us at howdoyouwatchthis@gmail.com. And if you like the show, you can support us, please, by leaving a review or sharing with a friend.
Thank you.
See you next time for Beetlejuice
Bye.